When someone says they want to build a budget gaming PC, I usually think somewhere within the price range of $400 to $500. That price point is usually the sweet spot for people who want a good gaming experience on a budget, since you can get parts such as the GTX 1050i for as cheap as $140 and still play most modern games like Watch Dogs or Tomb Raider at high settings. But when some people say budget gaming PC, they're looking for prices that edge the PS4 and the Xbox One's price, with the same amount of more power. I've built a $500 gaming PC and I've built a $300 gaming PC, but I've never went this far. Hey guys, this is Nick, and in today's video we're going to be building a $250 budget gaming PC with all new parts. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Up first, for the processor, we have the Pentium G4400 3.3 GHz dual-core processor. So obviously this processor is only a dual-core processor, which a lot of people won't like, but dual-core is still acceptable for most games that aren't CPU intensive. For games like Grand Theft Auto, it might be a little bit of a problem, but other than that, it should be fine. I would still look to possibly upgrading in the future as games do require more CPU power, but honestly, at this budget, you shouldn't be expecting the best processor in the world. As of right now, you can buy this on Outlet PC for about $50. Up next, for the motherboard, we have the MSI H110M Micro ATX motherboard. So obviously this motherboard isn't the best thing in the world either, but it gets the job done. It has 2 RAM slots, so if you want to do upgrades and get more RAM in the future, you'll be able to. However, it doesn't have SLI support, but again, if you're looking to build a $250 computer, you're probably not looking to do SLI anytime soon. As of right now, you can buy this motherboard for $40 on Newegg. For the RAM, we have 8GB of DDR4 RAM from Patriot. Now, 8GB is definitely not a lot, and with a lot of games these days, such as Call of Duty recommending 16 gigs of RAM for their games, it might seem like a squeeze, but honestly, 8GB of RAM should be fine. As most of you know, I played all my games such as Tomb Raider or GTA on a computer with 6 gigs of RAM, and I got by just fine. Of course, I'd recommend upgrading sometime in the future, but for now, 8 gigs should be fine. You can buy this RAM for $45 on Newegg. For the storage, we have Western Digital's 328GB Caviar Blue hard drive. Now, of course, this storage is really wimpy, and I fully agree with any of you who are thinking that right now. But some sacrifices had to be made in order for this build to happen. And I would recommend you upgrade as soon as possible in the near future, as 300 gigs of RAM of storage really won't last you that long, but for the first few months of you having this computer, it should be okay as long as you don't download 20-minute 4K videos. You can buy this storage for $20 on Amazon as of right now. Next up, for the case, we actually have a combo of Apex's mid-tower case with a 300 watt power supply inside. Now, of course, I know you're thinking that 300 watts of power isn't a lot, but for this build, it definitely should be enough unless you're making upgrades in the near future. About a year ago, I got a GTX 1080, and I was powering that off of a 500 watt power supply, and everything worked just fine, so for this build, 300 watts should be fine. As for this case, not much to say about it. It's not the prettiest case, but at this price point, you shouldn't be expecting an incredible looking case. And as I've said before, I really don't see the point in having a good looking case when the point of a case is just to house your components. I don't see the point in spending $100 on a good looking case when you could spend that on other parts of the PC. It gets the job done and houses your parts, and that's it. As of right now, you can buy this case PSU combo for about $30 on Newegg. And last but not least, for the graphics card, we have the NVIDIA GT 1030. So, if you don't know the story behind this card, a few years ago, NVIDIA released a GT 730, and it was considered the king of all budget GPUs. However, recently, NVIDIA released a GT 1030, and it's slowly but surely taking the 730's spot. It has 2 gigs of RAM and a core clock of 1.25 GHz, so obviously this card isn't crazy powerful, but it's not supposed to be. It's called the king of budget cards for a reason. With this card, you'll be able to play most games at 1080p medium settings at a solid 40 to 50 FPS. In a lot of benchmarks, this card handled games like Witcher 3 at 1080p 60 FPS on medium settings, which is really good for a $70 card. If you were expecting something like the GTX 1050 or 1050 Ti, Sorry, but you really can't expect a card like that at this price point. This card will offer you decent gaming performance for a very reasonable price, and you can pick this card up off of Newegg for about $70. Overall, adding all the prices together, this PC costs about $255, which is barely scraping our budget. So did we meet our goal? I'd say yes. We managed to create a $250 gaming PC that can handle almost all games comfortably at 1080p. And I'd call that success with only having a $250 budget. That's about it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like. If you didn't, go ahead and leave a dislike. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to subscribe, and please tell me what you want to see down in the comments below. And as usual, I'd like to thank you for all the support I've been getting recently. That's it for now, but as always, I'll see you guys all next time. Bye, guys.